All right. So we've all been hearing this. Elon's being sued, and Steve Mark Ryan tweeted out, Elon Musk destroys lawyer in court over frivolous lawsuit. And basically what he's talking about is that, yeah, Elon was on the stand on Monday and Tuesday, and, well, Elon was upset about it. So let's first get into his tweets. He said, Robbins Geller, the law firm suing Tesla and me, was formed by the lawyers who managed to escape prison for bearing false witness, kickbacks, and bribes when they were at Milberg Weiss. They just moved across the street and changed their name, but they're the same people. Then the founder of Robbins Geller, Bill Larach, who clearly had not learned his lesson, was sent to prison. So maybe after that, Robbins Geller learned their lesson? Of course not. Once again, bearing false witness. Amazingly, all this quite relevant information is missing from their puff piece Wikipedia page, which has obviously been whitewashed by paid curators. Easy to tell that my wiki is not curated, as it is a messy hellscape. All right, now Elon again tweeting at 1 a.m. He gets a little...
When's the last
sassy?
time you saw his wiki? What is this particular lawsuit about?
So it's become a very common practice for certain law firms to start class action lawsuits on behalf of shareholders. And I'm not saying that they're all bad or frivolous, but this one certainly is. The lawsuit claims that when Tesla acquired SolarCity back in 2016 for $2.6 billion, even though 85% of shareholders in both companies voted in favor of the acquisition, this lawsuit claims that Elon decided to buy SolarCity to bail it out and to benefit himself. So they are suing Elon for about $2 billion. Elon said in Delaware court last Monday during 5 hours of testimony, I don't think SolarCity was financially troubled. In order to have a compelling product, you really needed to have a tightly integrated solar and battery solution. And we could not create a well-integrated product if SolarCity was a separate company.
Yeah, I found this quote very interesting. When Elon was talking about running Tesla, he said, to be honest, I don't want to be the boss of anything. I don't want to be CEO. I tried to not be CEO of Tesla, but I had to do it or it would die. I'd rather hate it and would much prefer to spend my time on design and engineering, which is what I intrinsically like doing, which we know that's what he always does.
Yeah. I mean, he's honest even on the stand, you know, when you're typically not supposed to be honest. I liked it when Elon was being questioned by the plaintiff's counsel, Mr. Barron, and Elon explained to the court that the reason he was being a bit combative, shall we say, was because the lawyer used to work at a law firm named Milberg Weiss that we just heard about in his tweets, whose partners went to prison for fraud, and then went to another firm, Robbins Geller, whose partners also went to jail. And Elon told Mr. Barron, you were mentored by criminals. Then you continue to be mentored by criminals, and that is why I do not respect you. I think you are a bad human being.
Little extreme. I'll give him that. He sometimes goes off the rails. It's interesting to note that the other Tesla board members actually settled last year. It admitted no wrongdoing, but paid $60 million, which was paid by insurance.
Yeah, and Elon did not settle, and I have mad respect for him. He sued for billions of dollars, and he's like, let's go to court, bitch, and let the judge decide.
Is that what he said? At the end of the day, this is a giant waste of Elon's time. 2 days on the stand, and I'm sure many more days of prep and meetings and everything that has to go into the case, all to defend against what is obviously a frivolous lawsuit. As many of you probably already know, I'm both a former SolarCity and Tesla employee. Maybe you didn't know that, fun fact. But I was there during the entire process of that. They had us vote.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean...
How'd you vote?
How do you think I voted? What do you think I voted for? We automatically became Tesla employees after that was decided.
Right.
And it was an obvious choice. There's a reason why 85% of the people took that.
I mean, at the time, a lot of pundits and analysts were saying, like, this is a bailout of SolarCity. They're losing money. And I think on paper, to people who didn't understand solar and who didn't want to understand it, it looks like it's a loss. Why is that?
One of the most misunderstood things about SolarCity and its evaluation was the fact that the most popular offering was the PPA, or the Power Purchase Agreement.
Oh, right. I have that on my house. No money down. You get solar paid for by SolarCity. I just pay a monthly fee.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. You just get a reduced rate energy bill, and you're producing power from the sun.
Right.
That nuclear fusion reactor in the sky.
Yep.
It's wonderful. This is a 20-year agreement where SolarCity would front and pay for the entire system, and then over the course of the term, hit their ROI, or the return on investment, and then they would finally make a profit. SolarCity was founded in 2006. It took a few years for them to grow into the country's largest solar provider and then merge in 2016 with Tesla. So the average ROI on a solar system is about 8 years. And being SolarCity's tenure was only about a decade, before the merger, they were only about 5 years into being the majority of their systems at their peak growth.
Okay, so I get it. I had my system installed in 2013. Mm-hmm. It's been about 8 years.
Yep.
That's basically paid back the system, like my payments every month have paid for the system. Now it's all profit for SolarCity, which has become Tesla. But up until that point, it looked like, oh, you've just been spending money. they were investing money to put solar on people's roofs. And I mean, so Elon basically got to buy the biggest solar provider in the country, cheaply, I think, and then go on to make amazing products like Solar Roof that no one's talking about. Like, that's huge. He's changing the roofing industry, as we talk about all the time. But all that got forgotten. Anyway, let's get back to the lawsuit here. So Elon's testimony in the case has ended after 9 hours on the stand. Elon's brother, Kimball Musk, also testified last week. Now it will be up to the judge, Vice Chancellor Joseph R. Slights III, to decide the case.
One other interesting tidbit that came out of Elon's testimony on Monday was that there are currently 80,000 orders for Tesla Powerwalls, but that Tesla can only produce about 30 to 35,000 Powerwalls this quarter due to the chip shortage.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's nice to actually get something good out of this. I mean, I'm sorry that Elon had to be on the stand for all those hours, but at least we got to see that demand for their products is through the roof.
It's not like it doesn't exist.
Right.
I mean, again, I think that's the main disconnect of why people don't understand it and why this is even happening, because they're sitting there trying to package Solar City as some deal.
And I just want to mention one other thing, which is that all the other directors basically took the easy way out. They said, hey, insurance, will you cover it if we just settle? And they're like, okay. And they just gave $60 million over to this law firm. And that, you wonder why these law firms keep freaking suing everyone? Because, I mean, this law firm made billions of dollars suing Enron, for instance. And you might say, well, that's great. We hate Enron. But they sued them for nothing, like for these same frivolous things. And you wonder why they do it? Because they know they're going to get settlements, because the insurance companies don't want to go to court. Elon says, I'm not paying you a damn penny. So good for him, and I hope he wins. And we're going to see later on our poll whether you guys think he's going to win.
It all comes down to Elon's integrity. I mean, if there's one thing that you can't even touch, then he's a man of his word.
Yeah, he's not going to give them money if he thinks he's right, and he's right. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips. You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.